The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Sunday morning. With us today is Craig McCarthy. Well, he's the City Hall bureau chief for the New York Post. And, Craig, what happened on Friday?
Well, we had, history for Zohran Mamdani. He issued his first veto in office. He has spoken out against these bills, these two bills specifically, since they were coming down the pike. One was to create a buffer zone outside of religious institutions, and another was nearly identical, but it would create that zone, that no protest zone outside schools or educational institutions. He vetoed the latter on Friday, which is already facing some blowback. He raised concerns of the definition of schools, that it was too broad and could include things like museums. But that bill, the second bill, which was sponsored by Eric Denowitz, didn't have a veto-proof majority. It only had 30 votes when it passed last month. However, the first one around religious institutions, which notably he has not publicly supported and has raised concerns about, overwhelming support throughout the council. So even if he tried to veto that first one,
the council is going to override him anyway. So
right, the council would have.
But he's a smart guy. He knows that. Was he just trying to make his supporters feel better?
Well, yeah, this has been a real hot point for both him and the comrades on the left here with the DSA. I mean, they did a whole phone bank campaign going after both of these bills last month ahead of the vote. So, listen, this is something he hasn't supported. I believe he also, he's with the DSA on this one. He sides that he doesn't believe in this bill. So it would, it's a political move. He's gonna. The question is will the council now rally around Denowitz's bill, and similarly how they did with the budget, where even the people that are with Mamdani and his DSA party, sided with the speaker. So there's always that risk when you do your.
I think what we got to do, we believe in our religious institutions, and that the people that believe in these religious institutions, any of the city council people, I will take a full page ad in the New York Post, and I'll pay for it myself, and point out the people that voted against having protection for our religious institutions.
Right, and notably that one is the one that's going to go through. The one that's around schools will not go through, but still, it's in
other words, they have the right to pay. The one that they have the right to picket schools right up to the doorstep, and the city council is not going to vote for it. Or how does that? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so that's what they already voted for. So that exactly, there's going to be no buffer zone around schools for protests. So the question is what will the council do now? Right now, it goes back to the council, and they have time to see if they're going to try to override him. It had 30 votes last time, so it only needs 4 or 5 more solidly that they can override it. So the question is will the council come together and push back on Zohran?
Wow. What else is going down on in City Hall?
Well, we have our looming budget by this coming Friday. We have supposed to have our executive budget, and listen, there's been little talk of savings with this $127 billion budget that had been proposed. Zohran has still been touting tax the rich, but Governor Kathy Hochul has said she's not raising taxes. She did this pied-à-terre tax on secondary homes, but there's also raising concerns like how is this even going to go into effect? It seems like it's going to be a logistical nightmare because of the property values and how they're taxed and assessed. So, listen, we're still staring down an alleged $5.4 billion budget gap, or he's going to have to raise property taxes, which nobody wants.
Well, I mean, the big thing is if it chases away buyers, then it's going to bring down the price of real estate.
Right. I mean, listen, he's also, he's kind of started a little inadvertently, it seems like. I don't know if you realized that Ken Griffin would be so, angry at him filming outside of his apartment.
And that's a $4 billion or $6 billion enterprise that's going to be built with 6,000 workers.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Citadel, his company's hedge fund Citadel, is doing this $6 billion renovation of a Park Avenue building for his business. And, he even implied yesterday he had his second in command at Citadel issue a memo to staff. And this is the first time we've ever said anything and couched it in saying that, if this project goes forward, meaning that he's raising concerns about this. I mean, you can't, he targeted him outside his house. This is somebody, and this is what the New York City partnership has been pushing for, is this is somebody that does bring business to New York City. He donates to New York City. Their memo even said that, they $2.4 billion I can't remember off the top of my head, in taxes just the company and its employees had paid over the last 4 years. And him personally, he donated, more than $500,000 into New York City charities. So that's kind of, he took offense with the fact that this was somebody that's not paying their fair share.
Unbelievable. Well, thank you so much for calling in this Sunday morning, and keep your eyes open, and we'll talk again real soon.
Thanks for having me, John.